nothing going on. You're just watching my lips move. So what I was trying to say was today is a good time to check in, see how everybody's doing, and see we got some people jumping in probably because they can hear me now. Awesome. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Alan C. Paul. I'm the host and founder of God and Gigs, the award-winning host of the God and Gigs show, where we help you to transform your creative life by solving temporary creative problems with timeless spiritual principles. So as I just mentioned, some of you might be going through some holiday blues right now. You might be struggling to try to get yourself together. It might be a tough holiday for you, or it might be where it is a overwhelming holiday where you've got Black Friday sales coming at you left and right. You've got all of your work getting ready to come forward, your Christmas stuff. Maybe you just finished a Thanksgiving service or something like that, and all these things are about to hit you. So what I wanted to do is, again, this is where you get to run kind of like the show. For the podcast, I always end up starting the conversation. Here's where I would love for you to start the conversation. If there's something that is either on the down end of how do you get yourself started in the Black Friday season, or if there's a season where you're feeling like it's overwhelming and you're like, okay, how do I manage all of the craziness that's about to hit me? And I'll share some other things that I'm looking for, including some Black Friday deals that I have already bought, and some things that I may want to buy and I haven't bought yet, and I'm going to wait for Cyber Monday to hopefully I can grab some things. And also I can let you know about what's happening in our God and Gigs community. We're doing a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale of our own. And I've seen people go back and forth with this. I've seen people say, oh, you shouldn't do one because you're lowering your prices and you're trying to get through all the noise. Just keep the same for everything. There's other people that say Black Friday should be. I actually talked about this in episode 259 of the God and Gig show. So we talked about why Black Friday is actually a good thing in my estimation, to help you think like a business person and get yourself in the mindset of you can compete with other people. You don't have to be scared of being a business person inside this area of sales and discounts and offering your services. And it makes you think like that. But maybe you didn't do that. Maybe you're just looking for Black Friday deals. Good to see you, Sim. Good to see you there. Now, I know on the Facebook group, I know you can't see names, but if you put your name just like Simony did there, then you'll be able to be seen like that. And I can actually figure out who everybody is. And I'll go ahead and assume that this is also Simony as well. You did the wave twice. So let me talk about a little bit of what I'm doing in terms of trying to keep my Black Friday / holiday in check and not go crazy. The first thing I'm doing is I'm being honest. Okay, so as I mentioned, there's going to be a ton of offers, a ton of things happening as we start the holiday season. You've seen the commercials already starting, and your life probably just took a immediate leap in terms of busyness, whether you were cooking, whether you had family over, whether you were traveling. The busyness of the season immediately takes over as soon as we hit this time of year. And that also means that your stress level can also reach this time of year. Now, I'm going to say, honestly, personally, I try not to share too much, but I can say that in my personal life, this is going to be the most ridiculous, crazy December yet for me personally, because we've got some family things that are going to be huge adjustments in my family that are coming up. Couldn't hear you on YouTube. Okay. I think we fixed that. I hope we fixed it. Yeah, because on YouTube, I see you were on YouTube. There was no sound. Yeah, so hopefully we fixed it and the mic is working. But I think it was an issue that I just had with my mic settings. But if you're good, you can hear me now. Awesome. So, Victorian, good to see you. I'm so glad you joined us. Awesome. So this is a Black Friday kind of like woosah moment for everybody, like a Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving. Everybody just kind of take a deep breath before we get into the holiday season, like full force, which might have already happened. So let me tell you what I was telling you about all of the stuff that's happening in my life. I know I'm about to enter a very busy season. It's actually already kind of stressing me out a little bit. I'm forcing myself to ramp it down. I literally just picked up my Bible just a second ago and read a little bit of Romans 12 to remind me to renew my mind, because I really felt like that kind of pressure and okay, I'm going to need there's not enough money and the sales aren't coming in yet. And I got to get this track done. I got to get my computer. I literally switched computers to get this track done for the children's show that we're getting ready to do. And I need to get that done. Podcast needed to get done. Just did that. Okay. And then I got to get ready for Sunday. And then all this other stuff is going to come with the family situations and all the things we're going to be doing for a family coming in town. Like I was overwhelmed within like 10 minutes. And my wife will tell you that I came downstairs and before I had like my morning coffee and breakfast, I was already in a fog just from yesterday's Thanksgiving. I would love to know, by the way, what you guys did for Thanksgiving. You feel like just kind of sharing. Victoria, if you want to tell me what you did on Thanksgiving, I would love to know, like, hey, let's just talk about Thanksgiving before we worry about what's coming next. My Thanksgiving was awesome. Had a lot of Jamaican food. Had some fried Popeyes turkey, so we combined that southern thing with some pigeon peas and rice, and it was outstanding. Pumpkin pie, we had cherry pie, had all the pies, and we also did not. What I didn't do, this is a fail, by the way. I'm just share this fail. We did not put the tree up for my mother-in-law because my son and I could not figure out the lights. We just failed. We literally tired everybody else out watching us try to put the lights together. It was a mess. So it was just like, okay, I put the tree away. We were like, all right, we'll come back to that later because it was going to ruin the holiday with him and I struggling to put these lights together. Jamaican food is the bomb. Thanks, Brian. Yes, you absolutely have to check it out one time. You can do it if you can get somebody to cater or you can cook it yourself or whatever. Get somebody Jamaican in your house and to cook for you something because we have some Jamaicans that can cook in my household. But actually, my wife did 90% of it. My brother-in-law did a little bit with, and then my sister-in-law did some. Everybody got into it, so it was awesome. But I hope your Thanksgivings were good as well. If you want to share in the comments, let me know what you guys did for your Thanksgiving. But as I mentioned, this is a season where everybody's getting busy. So the first thing I just kind of admitted was that I needed to get into my word. I needed to jump in, just renew my commitment to my daily devotions and to my daily activities where I keep myself doing the same things that I've been doing throughout the year. The holidays are a busier time of year. It is a time of year where all of us as creatives are called on to do way more than we usually do throughout the year. But it's also a time that you must be continually focusing on the things that already work. The things that you were doing at the beginning of the year have to be the things you're doing at the end of the year. That's why in our podcast, the next 7 episodes, 6 or 5 episodes, I think we're 2 episodes into this series, we're just talking about the basics, the 7 steps to creative success in 2024, which come from the God and Gigs book, which you can get obviously at godandgigs.com/books. The devotional, again, same thing. These are topics we've talked about. But if you have gotten off track because your schedule throws you off, because you really haven't been able to focus, and if that's happened to you, let me know in the comments. If this season has already kind of thrown you off, take your time, get back to some kind of routine. Trust me on this. Okay, after doing this for 25 years, I know when things get off and you've got to focus. By the way, Victoria has her amazing podcast, 12th Street Talkback. That's a great place for you to go for your morning devotionals. If you need a devotional time, just listen to her podcast. Okay, Victoria, make sure you put that up in the comments so I can post it and people can find your podcast. That's one thing you've got to do throughout the holiday season is keep focused on whether it's rest. As much rest as you can get. I'm not good at that, but again, it's something that we all have to do to make sure we don't let this season take the best of us and ruin it for you. Another thing that you got to do is make sure that you are absolutely celebrating along with the people who are not in this world with us. It's really hard when you're performing, singing, ministering, doing all the things, cooking, doing all the things for other people. You lose yourself in the busyness like Martha does. And Brian, I gotta put that up. That's me. Yes, 100%. That is me too. I forget what rest is. This is exactly what I'm talking about right now. So, yeah, I know. Yes, I know. No rest. So, here's the key. All right. So let's talk about this. And me and Pastor Chris Alessi, who, by the way, has been on the podcast too. I forgot to mention that. Every time I mention Metro Life, I forget to mention that. Pastor Chris, who's one of our pastors on staff, has been on the podcast. But we had this talk in the office the other day. And what he said was, tell me in the comments if this aligns with something you thought of. It's not about rest. What's the root word of restoration is rest. But if you flip it and think of it, the whole point of rest is restoration, is restore. So you may not be able to get rest in terms of like inactivity, but the goal is not inactivity. The goal is restoration. You may not be able to get time away from the baby. All right. I get it. But whatever you have to do to restore, the Bible says in Psalm 23, he restores my soul. Okay. So you got to find a way to get restorative activities, even if it is not something that allows you to rest entirely or cease from activity. You got to find restorative activities that will allow you to kind of keep yourself going and not get into the absolutely, hair on fire, running around thing that drives us all into that serious area of burnout. Does that make sense? So let me know if that helps. And if there's other issues that you're dealing with, if it's rest, or if it's, again, kind of like just like feeling like there's all these things going on, you can't keep up. And I want to make sure I go on the opposite, which is maybe you're in a place where you feel like, oh, this is happening, but your creative stuff is not happening. Maybe you've gotten to the end of the year and you're like, okay, I plan to write 2 books. I plan to release 2 songs, and I plan to do all that. And I have, oh gosh, I wish I had this, I wish I had the reel. There was a reel that somebody posted, which is perfect for this. I can't remember who did it. I would show it to you or I would post it. But it was basically somebody writing down their goals. I think Lettucey posted it. And they're writing out the goals. And it was, I got to find this now because now it's going to drive me crazy. But it's basically that. It's where you're writing down your goals and you're like, you say like, quit drinking so much. And then you scratch out quit, and you, it's just like drinking so much, and things like that. It's like you're admitting that you failed at 90% of your New Year's resolutions. And that can be very depressing when you get to this part of the year, especially as a creative, if you really wanted to get some things done and you didn't get them done. Well, let me tell you first, please go back over your year and do not focus on things you didn't get done. Focus on the progress you made through the effort you made to get the things done. You may not have gotten the book written. You may have not got, but did you get better as a writer? You may have not gotten the album out, but did you make yourself focus more on songwriting? And are you further along on that process? Whatever you have to do to make that a positive and think about how you have improved. Focus on what you can improve on, that 1% that you improved on, and then go back to that versus all the things I didn't get done in the year. Okay, so that's one of my issues that I also struggle with, which is, I wanted to have a bigger bank account by this year and so on. Yes, 100%, small wins. That is 100%. By the way, I think most of us are watching in the group. If you're watching in the Facebook group, again, let me know if, because I see you, Brian, I see you over there in the Facebook page. If you're in the Facebook group, it's why it comes up as Facebook user. I think there is a way to do this. Hold up. Give me a second. I think I won't lose you guys. Let's see. Info, Facebook groups. Oh, this is how you, okay, if you guys want to, have your name, and if you're in the group, you have to go here. So if you want to have your name pop up, then you have to go here, and then you can have your name pop up. It'll give you permission in the group. So this is kind of, like I said, just our moment to kind of just exhale as you go into the season and as you're coming out of Thanksgiving. And so I want to tell you a little bit more about why I'm doing this at this season and what we're doing in God and Gigs as well, because my goal is to relieve pressure, is to ease the pressure. So even though we have done a Black Friday deal, it's not to add to all the things that you're receiving, all the surveys and all the sales and everything that you're being inundated with. It's something that I wanted to do to kind of take away pressure from you. So even though this is, we are doing a deal on this, this is something I pray that would relieve any pressure for the rest of the season on you if you need more help with staying connected with your goals and stuff like that. So we are doing a Black Friday deal in God and Gigs, but this is what we're calling it. We're calling it Black Friday Forever. And so the idea is essentially this: that you join Black Friday deal and you pay one price for our God and Gigs 360 membership, which Sim is a member of, and many others. We have about 35 members so far, and about 10 of them in gold. And gold is the one that we actually are promoting, and the one that's actually membership, that you have masterminds, that we have the classes, that we have everything connected where I help you each week and each month to focus on the goals so that you can be like Semini and have your devotional out. She's got her devotional out. And we also had our friend Charmaine, who was just on the podcast. She came through. She's now opening up an entire new area of her creative life just because she got around people who were supporting her. So we're opening that up now for one price, and it's a lifetime membership. And again, the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're unsupported, ever feel alone, ever feel overwhelmed, ever feel like you don't know where to turn when it comes to what God has called you to. I remember what it felt like when that was me. I remember how it was when I was sitting in the middle of a bar, of a restaurant, playing for $50 and fish dip. Okay, and it was like, how do people do this? How do people survive? How do people make a living? And then how do they do it without feeling like they are neglecting their church because they got to stay up till Saturday night till 2 o'clock in the morning to play gigs and then get to church in the morning and feel like that you were somehow a bad person. So that part is where I said, okay, I don't want anyone ever to feel that way again. I don't want anyone ever. And if you've ever felt this way, let me know, because this is why we're doing this. And I remember also the first time I actually went out and bought one of these courses, then bought one of these memberships, and it was like freaking me out because it was like, I think it was $179, and it was I think it was an email course that I bought just to try to start figuring out how to write these books and how to promote my marketing and how to promote my business. And I was like, I don't want to spend this money. And then the first time I bought a Facebook ad and spent $100 on Facebook, oh my God, that was freaking me out. And then all of a sudden I look back and I'm like, wait a minute. Those were just the stepping stones to me never having that worry ever again. I've never worried about how to do email marketing ever again since I bought the email course on how to market my email more effectively. Once I bought in and figured it out, it was never an issue again. So my goal is to free you forever from any of those nagging issues that actually suck the life out of your creative calling because you're so busy trying to figure things out that you can't do the thing that you're trying to figure out. Let me see. Oh, whew, Brian. Yep. I know. See, this is what I'm talking about. Brian says, been home too, and ended up not getting the church on Sunday because too tired. I know that life, man. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and then you know what you do? I don't know if you set your alarm. I wouldn't even set my alarm. I mean, I would set my alarm, but I would be like, I wouldn't even really technically go to bed. You kind of lay like just close enough to like the alarm clock. There's no way you can oversleep, and you don't really go to sleep. I call it Christmas sleep. You know how like when you sleep and you want, when you're a kid and you don't want to go to sleep because you want to catch Santa Claus, so you kind of like just sit there like your eyes are half open, but you really like, and then you doze off, but you're Santa Claus. That's the way that you sleep when you get home from a gig and you got to get up in the morning. And that kind of like that hustle, have to grind it out. There is a season for that. I'm stepping out of that season almost as much as possible. I'm trying not to do late night gigs anymore. I've stepped away from some corporate gigs. I am putting more and more emphasis into the things that create long-term revenue, even if it does mean sacrificing short-term revenue. But my point is, the reason I can do that is because I invested in some things that made it clear how can I be a creative entrepreneur and still balance that as a working musician, now a creative content creator, right? So I've got all these things that I got to move together, and they all got to fit together. And oh, by the way, I'm a Christian, so I got to do this in a way that honors God. So all these issues are like combining to where, oh my gosh, like if I don't have support, I'm not going to make it. If I don't have support, my dream is going to die in 2024. If I don't have support, I'm not going to make it through Christmas. And I'm going to feel like I'm just going to like giving this up. If I don't get some support, things are not going to look good for me. I'm going to end up, and there's nothing wrong with my 9 to 5, but I don't want to do just my 9 to 5. I'm called to something else. And if that's you, then I'm really trying to alleviate you of ever having to worry about this issue again. So this is the link. In case I don't remember, I need to share it now because otherwise I'll forget, and then y'all will be mad at me because I just did all this talking and didn't share exactly what this actual offer was. If you want to see what this is about, you go to godandgigs.com/BFF. Okay, God and Gigs, can't talk. godandgigs.com/BFF. Okay, that stands for not best friends forever, although it could be because we're going to be best friends. It stands for Black Friday Forever. So that's basically what we're doing here to help people to never have to deal with this. This is a lifetime membership. You will never pay again if you decide to use that link. If you decide to go ahead, and again, I remember how scary it was to buy that first thing. And here's the cool thing about this particular one. If you buy this one, you'll never have to pay for Guided Gigs ever again. A lifetime membership is a lifetime membership. It doesn't matter what we do with it. It doesn't matter if I add new courses. It doesn't matter whatever. You will never have to pay for a webinar, a training, or a book ever again. It was basically a get out of jail free card for anything that Guided Gigs ever does. It is only available through Cyber Monday. So again, that is what I'm offering until Cyber Monday. This is not a sales discussion, but it is a discussion of how do we alleviate the stress of the new year and everything else. And so that is part of how I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to just give you one decision to make that decision, and then you have your rest of your life never have to think about God and Gigs 360 payments ever again. And you'll have constant, consistent encouragement. Anytime you want to go in for help, you don't have to say, wait, did I pay that subscription? No, you'll never have to think about that ever again. Okay? So that's our goal for you this particular season. So yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you for checking in. I will see you then. Oh, so I'll see you, Brian. Absolutely. And I know exactly where Brian's going to see because he's also a member over there at Metro. So it's really cool to have our Metro family representing here as well. So now, as you're watching this, if you're watching this on replay, because again, I did this really quick, totally understand if you didn't catch this live because I didn't announce it. But once again, the goal of this is to help you take a deep breath, get ready for the year, get ready for the season, not get overwhelmed by the Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff. And let me tell you a couple of things that I did go ahead and purchase, okay? Because my budget is definitely not where I want it to be, but I said, okay, some of these deals I need to go ahead and get. One of them that I went ahead and got, if you're interested in this, you want to check it out. I went ahead and bought what's called Co-Schedule Headline Analyzer. So let me tell you what this is. This is probably something you might want to check out if it's available for Cyber Monday. You might want to check this out. So basically, if you ever have struggled to write headlines for either your emails or maybe you've had you have to do the video headline for like YouTube and things like that. If you've ever struggled with that, you've ever wondered, how do I come up with something that's going to make sense? Then you need to get this tool, okay? What this tool is actually, you know what? I wish I could share it. Let me see. Am I going to take a chance on sharing a screen, or is it going to slow down my computer? It's probably going to slow down my computer a lot. So I got to be careful. I really want to show you this in person. So let's do this. Okay, we're going to, give me a second. What happens if I turn off the video? Are you guys going to lose me entirely? Can I do that? I guess I had to get another screen first. Can't find it, but we're gonna try it. Let's see what happens. All right, you guys, if I disappear, if I get really slow, you were warned. Present slides, video, share screen. Here it comes. Y'all pray for me while we do this. Oh, it's not letting me do it. I'm not sure why. I just wanted you to see how it works. Ah, there we go. Okay, so what the cool thing about this is that if you have a headline and you're trying to figure out what do I write for this headline, right? What in the world do I write? So let's say I have a headline that's says something like, let me think, what's something that's good that I'm about to do? Oh, I know. I did one on how to avoid burnout, how to prioritize for next year. So maybe I'm doing like a goal thing and I'm trying to do that. So what this will do is over here, I can actually check out how this headline will work. And this is by coschedule.com again. I can, let's see how that would work on YouTube. Okay, and so I hit analyze. And let's see if it pops up. And it will give me a score light, headline's a little bit too short, increase these words, increase these kinds of words. And then I can even use over here an AI tool and it will tell me ways to improve my headline, right? So what are some ways to make my headline more impactful and so on. So this tool was really helpful for me. And I was like, when I saw that it was a deal today, I said, okay, I'm going to grab it. And by the way, I'm not an affiliate of CoSchedule. So this does not make me any extra money for you to use this, or you, if you decide to buy this. I just think, let me see, I'm going to use alternate ways to write my headline because I actually do need to write this headline. So here's some extra headlines that I could use. 10 proven strategies, ultimate goals, probably since New Year. So I really like all of these. Okay, so I could use one of these and it will use a credit and so on. So I get 25 credits a month. So I got to be careful because I don't want to use up all my credits, although this might be through November. So this might work out great. So anyway, this is one of the things that I said, hey, they had a deal for like $20-$30 off for the year. And I was like, okay, I'm grabbing that. I'm going to go ahead and grab that because I use this tool all the time and it can help me improve my headlines and so on. So that's just one tool that I'm using. Now, another one that I am definitely getting ready to use is, or getting ready to buy, or getting ready to pick up is ConvertKit. And ConvertKit is the email tool that I've used for years. And they're doing an annual deal. And so basically I'm just kind of like waiting my time. I'm going to see if I can grab that one on Monday. And that one is absolutely going to both benefit me in terms of my budget, but also in terms of me using it consistently throughout the years. It's been the number one thing. And let me tell you what's happened with ConvertKit, which is really cool. And again, I know this might sound like, okay, is this stuff involved for creatives? Yes. Because if you're not building an email list in 2024, if you're still relying on Spotify streams, I saw something on Spotify streams recently. I know everybody's about to get all excited about the Wrapped and stuff. But I mean, if you're hoping that Spotify or YouTube or Instagram Reels or anything in terms of social media pays you enough to make it in, to make a living as a creative, you're basically praying to be the one that 0.1% that goes viral and makes all these brand deals. That's all great, but it's just not a great place. You really need to have a place where you can go live, where you can go, not go live, that's the wrong word, where you can connect directly with your fans on a one-to-one basis, is what I meant to say, through email. And then when you do go live, or when you do present something, or do you do sell something, they can get to you directly. Okay? So, what I'm really advising all of you to do, no matter what, make sure that your email list is in order. And that's why ConvertKit is a great place to do that. And as I was about to mention, I was going to tell you what's happening recently with ConvertKit and my email list. And this is kind of like an admission. Recently, most of my email subscribers have not come from my own opt-ins. Opt-ins are things where you sign up and you say, "Hey, I want to get this for a particular free thing." I'll give you your email address, and then you send them a thing, and that becomes like a reward for joining your email list, becoming a subscriber. But what I've noticed on my ConvertKit is that for the last few weeks, none of them have come from opt-ins. All of my subscribers has come from something they call the Creator Network. And so I want to share just a little bit to see if I can share the screen again. Let's see if that works. And it's just crazy that now, because of this tool, and it's the reason why I'm definitely looking at getting the, yeah, there goes my thing slowing down from my computer. Ready to share the screen. And log in. Picture in picture layout. I don't think it. There it goes. But so what I wanted to show you is this is just crazy to me. You look, look, okay, we're back. Whew, that scared me. Let's see, who do we have there? Wait, I jumped off and jumped back on. I think we got somebody. I think I know who that is, even though I can't see your name. I am almost sure. Okay, here it is. Top forms and landing pages. I'm trying to find just one more place where I can see just my stats from my creator network. So I can share that without sharing anything that's not supposed to be seen. But yeah, what we're talking about right now, if you just joined us, is we're talking about our Good Friday, Good Friday. So I always say Good Friday, Black Friday. How are we doing? How are we trying to make sure that we are good going into next year, going into this season? And I'm showing some of the things that I'll be purchasing this year for Black. There it is, finally. Oh my gosh, why did this take so long to find? So frustrating. All right, let's try this again. Share screen. All right. Can y'all see that? All right. This is what I was waiting for. So as you can see here, this is my page for my Creator Network in ConvertKit. And as you can see, there are 11 people who are recommending me, 529 views. And this is the crazy thing. 124 people have joined my email list. And that's not without me. That's without me having to say or do anything. This is from other people who have decided to recommend my list to their people. And my favorite person right now is this young lady, Rachel J. Scott. You definitely want to follow her because her new book is coming out. We will be interviewing her. I was on her show, Taking the Leaps, and she is so in line with our stuff. So you can see how I'm so blessed by her because she has sent me 106 subscribers. There's also 17 here and a few more from some other creators. But all of these people have chosen to recommend me, and now I'm getting subscribers based on their recommendations simply because when they join their page, another pop-up says, hey, would you like to follow these other people? And I'm doing the same thing for other people as well. Well, as you can see over here in my recommendations, see if it gives a second to pop up. Come back. Here. But when it finally pops up, it will show you through the Creative Network. Okay. The Creator Network. There we go. Finally. Just takes a super long recommending. Recommending her. All right, we're fighting this internet thing. I'm gonna beat this if I can. So maybe I won't try to share screen anymore. But point is that I was going to tell you that there are 160 subscribers that I have sent to other people. Okay, so we've been able to, in that, you can count it up. Okay, these are nearly 300 subscribers that have either joined my list or joined someone else's list in the last, what is this? I'm not sure how long this is. Might be the last 6 months. So that is the power of ConvertKit. So if you want to check that out, by all means, please check out their annual deal. They are doing a Black Friday deal. Let me put in that just in case you need to see it. It's ConvertKit, I think. Yeah, that's it. So if you go there, you can find out. And again, we are affiliated of ConvertKit, but this is, again, I'm not playing around with this deal. I will be getting this, God willing, because I don't want to miss out on this deal. And I'm already a subscriber, so I really feel like this is going to help me save money throughout the year. So this is one of the things that I'm definitely looking at for a ConvertKit as a Black Friday deal, Cyber Monday deal to check out. And again, if it's in your budget, if things are in your budget and you can invest in yourself, I know there's so many other things, but this is again thinking long term. What can you do that will benefit your creative life over time, your marketing over time, to be able to free your mind up to focus on the things that you really should be focusing on? A lot of times we end up spending, majoring on the minors, as my pastor might say. We end up focusing so much on, well, how much am I spending this week? How much do I have for now? How much is this event? How much is that event? Instead of thinking long term, how can I save money over time so that I don't have those monthly expenses? And now I can focus on what needs to get paid for, what I need to buy as far as equipment. How can I invest in getting some better things for my creative life? What's some better equipment, or maybe connections, or attending a workshop or something like that? Whatever it is, if you can think that way, you're going to find that you have a better feel for your entire creative life. Again, it alleviates stress. If you kind of just push the envelope a little bit, say, okay, I'm going to invest here, it means I don't have to think about any of that stuff the rest of the year, especially for annual plans. And that's why I'm trying to shift. I'm trying to shift everything to annual plans as possible, as many annual plans versus the monthly plans. And yes, it's a sacrifice individually. Yes, at the beginning it is. But then after you keep going and you look later and you say, wait a minute, I can afford more because I've saved money over my overall expenses. And again, I know the holiday season is a time that we tend to focus on other people. Think about how much more you can give of yourself when you don't have, sorry about that, when you don't have that stress of thinking about the next monthly payment. That absolutely frees you up. And that's why I'm definitely recommending, if it's a tool that you can use like ConvertKit, like CoSchedule, and other ones are like Meet Edgar, which I use as well. And that does all of my social media posts for me. I'll tell you a tool that many people don't realize is free that I use all the time and saves me time is Facebook Business Suite. And I do so much with Facebook Business Suite now that I try not to open Facebook at all, because I can almost do everything I need to do without ever actually having to open Facebook anymore, which is really, really helpful for your brain. So that's just one of those little things. Again, it's free, but it makes your business life flow better so that your creative life can flow better. So just like I said, there's so many things that are about to go on that I need to have like a lot of bandwidth, and I don't need to be focusing on other things. So anything I can automate, get out of my circle, get out of my head, and make it where it's automatically taken care of for me. And if I can buy a tool that will do that for me, I'm going to do it when it helps me to save time or money elsewhere in the long run. So that has been our creative checkup. I have been on for about 45 minutes, give or take some of the interruptions we had. Thank you so much to Brian, who came through. I think Precious came through. Sim was with us for a second. And I know some other people probably jumped in for a little while. Maybe you were too busy to be able to stay with us. But if you're watching this on replay, right now, because I'm going to leave it up because these creative checkups are just for you to kind of get like a quick synopsis, summary of what's going on in Guiding Gigs. First, I want to make sure that you remember, up until Monday, only to Monday, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Just so those of you who are on the West Coast, I want to give you time. This is for the Black Friday Forever offer. The Black Friday Forever offer is a lifetime membership to Guiding Gigs 360, where you get constant accountability, community, training, and support. Okay, all four of those, we call those the acts of the creative life. And if you've ever struggled to know what your next move is, how do I bounce? I need someone to bounce this idea off. I don't want to ask Google this question. I don't know what software to buy. I don't know how to run this ad. I don't know how to find time for my creative life. How do I focus on my spiritual life as well? We do the complete, that's why we call it 360. We all encompass that in our discussions, in our trainings, and our courses. There's over 200 hours worth of content there, as well as 10 years worth of experience of all the interviews I've done with some of the top creatives that have won Emmys, Grammys, and Stellars. They are all there waiting for you to join this group and then have no more payments for the rest of your life. It simply is one price, but I can't do this forever. So it's only going to be through Cyber Monday that you can get that deal. If you go to guidedgigs.com/BFF, that's where you find that deal up until the end of Cyber Monday Pacific time at midnight. Okay. And also some of the recommendations I made in case you didn't catch that. I am definitely recommending you check out CoSchedule. Look up coschedule.com. They're doing something that I really advise. I did it myself. I'm not telling you anything I didn't do myself. And the ConvertKit deal, which is here, you can check out ConvertKit as well. They are an excellent way. Again, I told you and showed you how I'm getting email subscribers, 100 email subscribers doing nothing. And I say doing nothing, it's not true. I wasn't able to do nothing. I built my email list. I built a place for them to go, but the actual people that are joining from recommendations from other people. And if you've ever struggled to build your list, you know how hard that is to get 100 subscribers, and then to be able to get 100 subscribers without having to actually go out and find them, but that other people finding them for you and they're joining simply because someone else recommended them. That is absolutely a golden opportunity for you. So please check out ConvertKit. Again, not because I'm an affiliate, but because it's just been the best system. I've never had an easier way of having people subscribe to my list than this. And each one of those people is most likely a very well vetted subscriber. So that's another Black Friday deal I would highly recommend. They're doing, I think, was it 30% off through Cyber Monday? I think that's what it is, or Sunday. I'm not sure. You got to check that out to make sure. Okay, so that's another thing I highly recommend. And then to cycle all the way back to the beginning of this call, I advise find a way to get restorative rest, to get yourself in the mindset of I'm going to focus on my Bible study and my devotionals. I've struggled with this, especially when things get busy. But if things are busy right now, imagine how much more busy they're going to get around the holidays. So just go ahead and focus on the things that work for you, the things that you need to do to stay in that good zone of staying connected with your church. We talked about this in this last podcast, 260, godandgigs.com/260. Stay connected with your church. Stay connected with people who are going to refresh you and restore you even while things are going crazy. Remember to celebrate along with everybody else. I know you might be doing all the programs and all the children's programs and stuff like that, but remember to celebrate. This is the reason for the season. Jesus is the reason for the season. It's a cliche, but it's also true. And you got to remind yourself of that. And also your family and the people that you're pouring into, make sure that you're also pouring into yourself, because when things get busy, sometimes we creatives, we focus on other people so much that we pour from an empty cup, and we all know that's impossible. So, my friends, I thank you so much for watching. If you watched all the way through this entire creative checkup and then got through the glitches and stuff, thank you so much. Make sure that you, again, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, tap the notifications bar. I'll be doing another one of these probably pretty soon. We do this all the time, every 2 weeks in our creative checkups for our God and Gigs 360 membership, which is what we're offering the lifetime membership to here at godandgigs.com/BFF. But we'll definitely do a few more lives here in our channels as well coming up to kind of help you through the holidays. But I hope that you'll subscribe to the podcast, you'll check out this deal, and that you'll stay connected to us wherever you're following us right now. Okay, God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. And remember, check out these deals all the way through Cyber Monday. This will be available, and it will help you to alleviate the stress, take the stress off of you. Make one decision at a time, break off the stress, and then think about how you're going to expand and improve yourself for next year. And just get ahead of that. It's going to do wonders for your creative life and help you bless more people as you are blessed as the creative that you were created to be. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me for this creative checkup. Thanks for jumping in on a Black Friday 2023. Take care. God bless.